In this video, I'm going to show you how to add a blog to your Framer website. So I'm going to get straight to the point. We're going to be using our Glacier template as a base because it doesn't have a blog, but it does have some other CMS collections, and adding a blog here would really benefit the website. As a reference, we're going to be using the blog section from our Evolve template. So it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to have a simple headline and then a few blog sections. And then when you click on them, we're going to have a single article page. So to do that, first we need to add a new CMS collection. So I'm going to go to Framer, click on the CMS menu, and I'm simply going to add a collection called blog. Now the first thing that we'll do is we will edit our fields because we want to add some things first. I'm going to go for a super basic blog, so I'm just going to add an image, and I'm also going to add a date. But if you want to get more complicated, you can also add an author field and many more. But basically this is the basic setup we need for a simple blog. Now, after we have added our fields, it's time to populate our blog. So I'm just going to add a few sample articles so we can see how our blog would actually look like. To add these articles more easily, we're going to use the CSV import plugin, and in the description you guys are going to find a file that I have left, which is a CSV table with a few sample articles that you can use for free. So simply open the CSV import, upload the file, and our articles will be ready to go. So just like this, we have our 3 articles right here. We have title, image, date, and content for each one. Now that we have our CMS set up, it's time to actually build the blog pages. So first I'm going to go to pages, I'm going to click plus, new CMS page, blog index. This will give us a very basic blog page setup. The first thing we're going to do is add some breakpoints, and then we're going to start customizing the layout. So I just added a simple header and footer from the Glacier template. And now I'm just going to select the desktop breakpoint, and then we're going to remove the gap. We will also remove all padding that we have right here. And now we can get started with working on the blog itself. So I'm just going to simply fill this out with some basic content. We're going to remove the description, and this will be our basic setup for the blog page. And now we can get started working on the content itself. First, I'm going to select this layer. I'm going to set its width to fill. The max width, we are going to set to 1200 pixels so it doesn't go too wide. And now another thing we're going to do is add some padding. I'm going to enable this option right here. We're going to add, let's say, 40 on top, 20 to the left, 100 on the bottom, and 20 to the right as well. Now I'm going to delete this blog text, and we will start customizing the blog CMS collection. First, I'm going to set its type to grid, and we're going to set it to 3 columns with a gap of 20 pixels. Then for the blog item, what we're going to do is set the direction to vertical. We're going to align it to the left. We're going to select our image. We're going to lock it in. We're going to select the width to fill. We're going to right click and remove the max width. And now I'm just going to unlock the height so we can adjust our images until we like the aspect ratio. I think something like this is nice. So I'm going to lock it back in so it keeps its proportions on the other breakpoints as well. And now you don't see this here because it's a dark text, but I'm going to select the headline right here, and I'm going to add a simple style. I think the heading 4 style here will look good. We don't want too big of a heading, but we also don't want it to be super small. So I think I'm going to keep it at heading 4. And for the accessibility tag, I'm going to set this to H2 because we have a heading 1 here, and each one of these headlines needs to follow the hierarchical structure. Now I'm going to select the text layer, and I'm going to add a gap here of 12 pixels. So we have a little space between our title and the date. And for the date, I'm simply going to change the color to the text color, so it's a slightly different color. And actually I'm going to make some changes right here to the font. I'm going to increase the line height to 140%, so we have a bit more space between the rows. And then I'm going to select the blog item once again and reduce the gap to 24 so our title is closer to the image. Now, next up, what we're going to do is we're going to add a simple hover effect just to signify that this is clickable. So I'm going to go to effects, I'm going to select hover, and then I'm going to keep the scale at 1, and we're simply going to lower the opacity to 0.7, I think will be nicer. And now if you preview this, once you hover over any of the blogs, we get this nice effect that signifies that you can click it. Now this will be our super basic blog index page. And now let's add a blog detail page. So we're going to go to pages again, click the plus, new CMS page, and blog detail page right here. Now I'm going to grab our footer and header once again from our template, and I'm gonna paste it inside of the actually, first, before we paste it in, we need to add our tablet and phone breakpoints. Now I'm going to paste it in. I'm going to go to layers, bring them up top, bring the stack between the navigation and footer. Now we're going to select the desktop breakpoint, remove the gap, remove the padding, and we can get started working on our blog page. Now for the title right here, I'm going to select the headline, and for the content, I'm going to set the variable to title. In this way, it will automatically pull the title from each article and add it in this place right here. I'm going to remove it from the bottom row. I'm going to select this date. I'm going to click Command X to cut it and paste it right underneath our title. And now this tag right here becomes empty, so we're going to remove it. I'm also going to cut the image from here, and I'm going to paste it right here on top. I'm going to make it slightly bigger, something like this. I think 700 will be nice. We're going to lock it back in so it keeps the same aspect ratio. The radius, I'm going to lower it slightly, and I'm probably going to drag the date below our image. Now, after that, we're going to work on our content right here. So we have a stack with the width set to fixed. First, we're going to set it to fill, and we're going to set a max width to 700, or probably 800, I think will be slightly better. Then we're going to select the content right here. We're going to remove this max width. We're going to select back the stack, and now we're going to add some padding. So we're going to add, I think, 40 on top, 20 to the right, 100 to the bottom, and 20 to the left. So we have some space on mobile as well. I'm going to change the color of the date here to a lighter color so it's a bit more visible. And also another thing, I'm going to increase the gap right here. So basically, I think what we have to do is select the date and banner and put them right here in a different container. This way we can adjust the gap manually. So I'm going to select the hero container now that holds everything here. I'm going to align it to the center. The gap, I think we're going to keep it at 36, I think would be nicer. Then I'm going to select the headline and remove the padding that we have here. I'm going to drag this below our image. Then I'm going to select the hero container once again and add 36 pixels of padding below. And now I think we're looking way cleaner. I'm probably going to increase the padding between the headline and the image as well. And I think this is pretty much the basic setup. Now, another thing that Framer automatically adds is a previous and next article button. Now, this is fine if you want to keep it. You can customize it slightly and make it look better. But another thing I like to do is add a related articles section. So we're going to delete this whole stack. And then we're going to go back to our blog page. And from here, we are simply going to copy this section right here. We're going to go back to our blog detail page, and we will paste this right on our desktop layer. We're going to drag it above the footer. And now here we basically need to add a title. So I'm going to also increase the padding on top to 100 pixels. And we're going to grab this headline that we have on top. I'm going to paste it, drag it above the blog layers. And then I'm going to simply lower the gap to 44, I think would be better. I'm going to select the headline, make sure it's in the heading 2 style, so it's slightly smaller. Then here we can say related articles. And then for this headline, we're going to remove the variable, and we're going to say read more from our blogs or something along these lines. And now what we have to do here is this is actually showing the blog article that we're currently reading, and we don't want to do that. So how do we fix this? We basically need to go to filters. We're going to add a new filter. We're going to select title, and we're going to select doesn't equal. We're going to select the value, set variable title. This way, the current article will not be shown on the more articles section. Right now, we have only 3 articles, so we can see only 2. But if I quickly duplicate, let's say, this article, and I change the title, so it's a different article, and I click save, drag it to our articles, you will see now we have 3 articles here that are not the article we're currently reading. So this is the most optimal setup for the related articles. I'm going to increase the padding on the bottom. And finally, I'm going to select the blog item right here, and we're going to add a link. We're going to link to blog slug, and this will open the blog you click on. Then we need to go back to our blog page, select once again this article, add a link, and then simply link it to blog slug. And now if we preview this, we can select any of these articles, and then we're going to see the image, we're going to see the title, and we're going to see the content in here. Now, this isn't styled super pretty, but it's a simple tutorial to show you how to add a blog. After that, you can take this, you can simply edit these styles for the content right here. Simply select this, and then here you can add different heading styles for your blog so it can look nice and pretty. But this is the basic setup. Once again, if we preview this, we will see our current article, we can read through it, and then at the end we can select another article and we can read through that as well. Okay, so quick intermission. I'm recording this literally 2 minutes after I stopped the last recording. I forgot to show you how to make this responsive. So basically what I would suggest is simply for the index page, you can select the wrapper here. So basically the blog CMS collection, and then we can lower the columns to 2. And then for the mobile, we can lower the columns to 1. This way, everything will be nice and responsive. And another thing, we could probably add some padding right here to the blog items. So we can add like 12 pixels of padding to the bottom so they're a bit more separated. And then for the blog page itself, it's pretty simple. If you already have heading styles set up with different breakpoints, then it will look pretty good on mobile already. But again, we can simply select the related articles, make the columns 2 on tablet, and then we're going to set a limit also. So we're going to go here, limit, and we're going to limit it to 2 articles so it doesn't have that ugly 3 articles right here. And then for the mobile, we're simply going to select 1 column, and then it's going to look great already. Another thing, I would simply lower the padding on mobile so everything is not as far from each other as it is currently, and you should be pretty much good to go when it comes to responsiveness. So this was a very quick tutorial. I hope it was useful to you guys. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us, and in the link in the description, I'm going to leave links to this template, to Remix UI, where you can simply grab, copy, and paste sections into your website so you don't have to do everything manually. And with that out of the way, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.